watching And Now the Band. We're here with Sam from Haunt. Um, Sam, again, I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to hang out and chat with me, little old me. Um,
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. Stoked you reached out, and it takes a village as far as any of this heavy metal stuff, dude. So grateful for the help, and definitely willing.
yeah, it really does, dude. And it's so funny. There's so much good music that is, I don't want to say not popular, but in the underground,
Yeah,
right?
that's kind of where we exist, at
It's
least right now. You know,
yeah,
could always change.
it could in the flash of a pan too. Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a changing of the guard coming up. I think it feels like. I mean, it's kind of wild to see, but I feel like there's this big 90s resurgence as far as fashion and music, and people just kind of, a younger generation likes that aesthetic, which is kind of crazy, not just because you can buy Nirvana shirts at Target or whatever. You've been able to do that for a while, but yeah, I think people are hyped on. I got this theory that like every 30 years there's like a change when it comes to things like that. And as far as I'm concerned, that where that 30-year mark's definitely coming up.
Yeah. Well, it really is. And if like looking at some of the music that's out there, or a lot of the music that's out there, you see a lot more like a lot of grunge influence really coming in, and
For
seeing
sure.
some of those people really fucking uh, people that otherwise wouldn't be anything, just seeing them like gain popularity, which is, I'm old, dude. I'm about to be 50. So like when grunge hit, I watched it happen. It was super
Yeah.
cool, and I grew up in some of the era with the traditional heavy metal, and it was pretty fucking. I was lucky. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's a special thing, man. I studied that shit as a kid for sure. Cliff 'em all was something that that's all I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to being something a part of something greater than just you. There's this whole world that you can travel internationally and be a part of. You see somebody with a Slayer shirt, somebody's gonna scream at you. You see some. I mean, I'm always hyped if I see somebody in a Haunt shirt. I don't let in that I'm in the band, but I'll say, hey, those guys, that's cool, and they're like, yeah, they're sick. Or rarely do they say it's just a cool shirt, but
Yeah.
if Haunt breaks the fashion trend too, that's not a bad deal as far as I'm
No,
concerned.
not at all, right? Because you look at I was watching an interview with Gary Holt, and he was
Mhm.
talking about, back in the day, like you could make a good living just touring, but now you- the band is a touring pop-up t-shirt shop.
Merch is a must as traveling touring musicians. Just because if you have a bummer show, and depending on the level you're at, sometimes you're able to get a guarantee. Sometimes it's just a door deal, and I think even at bigger, that's just the way business is done from a promotion standpoint. I think there's people that do door deals at, 1,000 people venues, and if you have that many people, then you get that kind of cut. But if you have a show that's not so well attended, but you've got dedicated fans that spend money on merch, that's the saving grace.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I think uh that's such an important thing. I think when people go to a show is like, don't spend all your money on beer. The venue is probably going to be there again. S- Go buy a shirt, buy an
Yeah, I mean
album.
that's it's got to work for both people too. It took a little bit of time for me to get right with that, but that you have to be offering something to these places for them to want to continue to work with you. It's not necessarily personal, but it is
Sure.
music business, not music friendship. That's a funny
Yeah.
term or phrase that I've heard for years, but that's the case. If the bar is able to make money and the band is good, both parties will, profit for lack of a better words, or it'll just be successful for everybody involved. The crowd will have a good time. Venue will be able to stay open because that's a whole other thing. There's a lot of venues that are just not able to stick around anymore. Some of them made it through, COVID pandemic, but I think that's from a touring music business standpoint, there's a lot of venues that just pop up and close, and then that's it. You know, we played this place in Des Moines with Night Demon and Satan 3 years ago called Lefties, and then we played a different venue this time, but found out that that place had closed down, and it's a bummer that it closed down, but it's cool that there's this new place, you know, and I really hope that they stick around because we had a really cool show there for a Monday, you know, another one of those
Oh yeah.
situations where it's like this whole part of the country's just gotten hit with some crazy snow, wind, ice kind of shit. So the fact that we were able to draw on a Monday and sell merch in that way, and again, the bar was stoked, people were hyped. It was that's all you can really ask for, you know?
Yeah. That's funny. You mentioned Night Demon. I just ran into Jarvis this last weekend up in Cleveland.
Oh, right on. What was going on over there?
Acid Bath and Midnight,
Sick.
Nun Slaughter, Amigo the Devil and Radiant, and of course, Jarvis and Midnight are,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's a good
so
dude, man.
yeah, for sure. I was like, Jarvis, what's up, dude? Like, one of that is like Night Demon is one of those bands for our family. So I've got kids. Fuck. I've got young adults now. They're 19 and 21.
Oh, right on, man.
So
They'll always be
27.
kids, dude.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So 2017, Night Demon was doing the Live Darkness recording in Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
I live in Louisville, obviously,
Yeah.
and we fucking hit the road, drove up to Cleveland with the kids, dude, and we're like a part of that recording, which was, it was just a cool fucking memory with the kids.
It's a special thing, man. You know, I remember when that first album came out, and it's cool to have it all come kind of full circle and be able to call Jarvis Bud and you know, just be hyped to see each other. You know,
Yeah.
this world just continues to get smaller as far as I'm concerned. You know, especially when it comes to being a musician and touring and doing it. You know, it just gets smaller. The more you travel and the more people you see and you meet, it's you know the total opposite of how you would think it would be. It does not get bigger; it just gets smaller.
Well, it does, dude, and it's funny. It's not even just like the musicians; it's the crowd too. You know,
Yeah, you see a
you
lot of fans, man. It's cool.
you travel to fucking towns, and those familiar faces come around. I mean, even like I don't play music anymore, but when I go to a town, wherever I go, I know I'm gonna know a handful or fucking 10 or 15 people or whatever. So it's like, holy shit. There's 12 of us that travel to all the shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah,
fucking great.
I think it's a special thing.
It is. It's as small as it is. It's music is that like one thing that it's the unifier to me.
It's everybody, you know, converging on a universal vibe. It speaks a language that not everybody has to speak the same language to understand that one. You know,
Yeah.
you know, without getting too like heavy and deep into it, there's definitely like a spiritual thing about it, I think. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. It is. You can get as deep as you want. I don't care. Like that
In the
shit.
Satan
That.
in the Satan shirt talking about spirituality. Yeah, dude, no, it's yeah, it's I'm super lucky to be able to do it at all, and the guys in Haunt are super rad, and I'm super stoked to be able to do it with them. We have a lot of fun, man, you know, and I think that comes across in the stage show. We're laughing and smiling and trying to make each other laugh during the show just because that's what we're here for, man. I think the crowd feeds off of stuff like that. If you can shred with a smile on your face, not that there's you know it's not just all smiles. Sometimes I try to look like gnarly and you know do that's part of performing, but yeah, I mean, Joel and I, we do all sorts of shit that we make each other laugh on stage. It's hilarious. Trev knocked his like in-ear monitoring system off his guitar last night, and when things like that happen, as opposed to like stressing and sweating and freaking out, it's like, you know, it's just chaotic on stage. And so plugs it back in time for the verse. But like when we're able to lock eyes at a point, when he's not singing, he's like, dude, it's just funny as shit, you know?
Those are some of the best times. I saw. Converge in July last year,
Uh-huh.
and those dudes are like they're super like the music is pretty fucking. You've got to know your shit,
Oh yeah.
But to
Yeah,
see
super
them interact
technical.
on fucking stage is like it's hilarious. They're making funny faces and throwing shit at each other in the middle of
Yeah,
the
dude.
song. Like
It's like
this
you're in
is
rehearsal or something. It's
yeah.
hilarious.
You've got to. You've got to get to a point where it's like it's fucking muscle memory because when you're having fun, the crowd is having fun
Yeah,
too.
that's it, man.
What band have like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you join in 23?
That's right.
Okay. Um, so since you've been in the band, what bands have you toured with that you were just like, this is fucking rad, aside from, playing shows with Night Demon and Satan, since we've already like nailed that one.
Shit, man. I mean, uh, I used to play in a band that was on a compilation with the guys in Hellfire, uh, out of San Francisco. So that was cool to like, knew each other from afar for a while, and then to be able to call those guys friends and hit the road and just have that all kind of come full circle is super rad. And we've been, you know, I guess we've been all over the world with them. We went to Europe with them. I guess that would have been last year. Yeah, shit. Or 2 years ago. It all starts to blend together.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I mean, there's some dudes down in Tampa that we've gotten to be super close with called Midnight Vice. Those guys are rad. I mean, Void from Louisiana. I've known those guys long before the Metal Blade signing. That's super rad for them that they're on that upward, rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm trying to think of all some of the. I mean, you were talking about acid bath. I had a really cool moment with Sammy at Hell's Heroes last year where they were doing that John Christ set, and right when they went into Mother, he just looked at me and we just like hugged each other and broke down. He's like, "So it's like that," with his sick ass Louisiana drawl.
Yeah.
Just shit like that is like super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
man, I'm
fucking is.
super super lucky to do any of that kind of shit. Yeah, dude, maybe it's not so much about like bands, because I don't got these stories where it's like I'm really close with this person now, but it's kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier. I'm just like in these rooms with some people that may be high profile musicians, and I just get to say what's up, and that's that. I'm not there to be like, hey, I'm Sam from Holland, and I do this and that. It's like we're just there, and we're all just, stinky dudes that are trying to make sure we got enough clean underwear through the tour. So
Yeah.
you're just able to, it levels the playing field a little bit. Everybody just gets to be right sized as opposed to having these big crazy egos or feeling like you need to make yourself real small. I think that's part of what this has done is it's allowed me to be just right sized, which is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. God. That's I've never heard it put like that before, but it like that makes a lot of sense, you know? Like I don't know, we ran into Sammy and Mike and Zach at the Obsessed show in Cleveland on Thursday.
Hmm.
Everyone's just in the fucking room hanging out.
Yeah, dude. I think, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That's part of why heavy metal is so cool. And as far as back in the day, you had these personalities that were truly larger than life, and they got put on this pedestal. And I think some of that mystery and mystique and legend that comes and lore that comes with dudes like that is important. Because especially these days, there's nothing that's kept a secret. It's all very out in the open. And in fact, if you don't document your entire life, maybe you're not doing something right from a social media standpoint or whatever, right? This could be the next viral moment, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I used to reject that a lot. And then I used to obsess over it because I wasted too much time and wasn't doing it right. And now it's like I just find a way to make it work for me without losing my mind over it because it's real easy to get stressed and real easy to think about the things that you're not doing right and look at all the differences versus the similarities. And so, yeah, dude, I mean, another funny thing about, not acid bath, but Sammy with goat whore is we were leaving Hell's Heroes last year and uh, we were just burnt out, dude. And so we're loading the trailer to leave, and there was all these nails on the ground. So then we're worried about like driving over a bunch of nails and popping the tires and shit. And then I get in the car to drive, and I haven't put up the door to the trailer. Like it's one of those gates that just goes down, and I'm just driving away with the whole thing open. And then Ben from Goatwhore comes in, like chases us down. And he's like, "Hey, hey, your gate's open." And I was like, "Thank you." But that's just like, that's like that on the road sometimes. You're tired, you've been up late, you wake up early, that kind of shit.
Well,
Uh
especially in a situation like Hell's Heroes, you pull up and it's like you fucking unload, you get on the stage, you set up, you do your line check or sound check, then you get done, get everything away, and it's like, fuck, okay, we're off to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully that was what's maybe this is even making leaving the trailer door open worse, but we had a day off the day after we played just to kind of enjoy the fest and see Saxon and all sorts of other bands and shit. See Hellripper. I mean, okay, there's two other bands as far as like who I've met through the travels, meeting James and Andy and the guys in Hellripper, super sick, super good guys. But yeah, so like it was time to go, but like had a day to rest, had a day to chill, and just like that's just how it goes though sometimes. It's just the like, is everything here? There's nails on the ground. We're not gonna be able, say we're gonna pop every tire, and so those anxieties and shit, like sometimes you just need to like stop and ask another dude in the band, hey, is not necessarily delegate, even though that's important, but just like check in with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I looking back, you say not delegating, but I think, you look back at bands and the history of bands, and I feel like every member in the band kind of has their responsibilities.
Yeah, man, it's important. I mean, it is important to delegate because otherwise, the guys even jokingly they're like, "Sam, you're barking. Do you need help with anything?" And that's how like the crazy shows up for me these days is like I can just do all of it. But you're right. Trev is Trev is a soul songwriter in this band, and for some people that's a weird thing. And for me joining the band, that was made very clear early on. Like if you need a band where your musical ideas are heard, maybe this isn't the band for you. But I think having those kinds of conversations is important, especially in the beginning. Um,
Well, it
but I
sets
think I'm a good,
expectations, and I think, like sometimes those conversations can be really hard and challenging to have,
yeah,
but if you're having that early and setting that expectation, this is how this band works, you know, you you're gonna you're gonna weed out the people who are like, man, I'd like to be a part of that band. Oh, I can't,
yeah,
you
dude. I
know.
mean, I think whether it's cut and dry like that, I think that's how most bands work anyway. There are only one or two dudes that truly, because songwriting is a whole different muscle than just being able to like to have the technical skill. Uh, and the heavy metal attitude, it's a hard thing that does not come naturally to me. And so it's cool to be around other musicians where that is something that comes naturally. I mean, Trev puts out a record every year, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. New one coming out in October. Which I mean, you could hear right now if you subscribe to his Patreon, but that's a whole other thing. Uh, yeah, dude, it's important. Trev and I split the driving on the road. I'm definitely the guy that handles the selling of the merch and advancing shows, and I think he and I split sort of the tour manager duties. I would say he does a little more of that, but and then Joel and Andy, they definitely they're hard fucking workers. They are good at their instruments, not just good, they're great at their instruments. They bring their own, and not everybody needs to do everything. Because
Right.
Andy's real good when he's real in tune with the world as far as like he can tell when these like nuances to the way people act or say things or just like vibes that he picks up because he kind of just like he talks a lot with us, but if you meet him for the first time, some people are like, "Dang, is Andy like a dick or something?" Because he doesn't like say anything, and it's like he is taking it all in,
He's a
dude. And
sponge,
then
dude.
he's taking it all in, and so he can tell when things are off. He's like, "What's up, dude?" You know, like, are you cool? Or he's got a good way of like making a joke and bringing the like the tension that I'm feeling real down. You know, shit like that is, he just kind of holds the mirror to some of us, and we need that. You know, we need to be shown that like, yo, none of this is that big a deal, dude. At the end of the day, this all is supposed to be fun. And when you get to, certain levels, I mean, I don't think we're at like a real high level technically, but like we're making a living doing this, and
That's,
we get,
dude, if you think about it in the grand scheme of the amount of bands in the world, to be able to make a living at it, that's a high level.
yeah, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I'm not necessarily looking for Wembley Stadium, although that would be rad, but it's the kind of thing that, yeah, that's right now that is how I'm making a living, not just with Haunt, but like music in general.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, dude, it's just surrounding yourself with the right people is a big part of it.
Fuck yeah, it is. There's there's so many people in the world, dude, and I think there's a lot of shitbags out there too. And maybe not shitbags, but people that you just don't like gel with, you know?
And kind of what we were talking about earlier, being a part of something bigger than you, the way that I think heavy metal is, that's there's a lot of people that want to make it about them. There's a lot of people that want I'm not getting these accolades. Why isn't anybody paying attention to me specifically? And I think that's normal for people to have those kinds of feelings, and it's something you got to like practice actively. You don't even have to do it good or well to like, but as far as practicing it actively of like smashing your ego or just not making it about you, I guess is the easiest way of putting it, especially,
Yeah.
on the road with Entranced, like there's 8 of us, a lot of different personalities. What can we all do to make this easier for each other? Uh, just because that's what it's about. Everybody's going to help each other load in and out. Do you need anything? I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to Whole Foods. Do you need anything? That kind of stuff, is it's important, and that makes the long road trips. You're able to get through it in that way. It's because otherwise you're just like walking on eggshells, and there's this weird tension at load in that's like you're supposed to be hyped to see each other, whether the drive is 2 hours or 11 hours. Like, oh, dude, that drive sucked. It's good to see you. What's up? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I see it more and more as I get older. I see people who aren't willing to do for others. And it's such a simple thing. And I say do for others. I mean, you don't have to go cook dinner for people every night or whatever. But if you're going to the store and you just say, "Hey, dude, I'm going to the store. Do you guys need anything?" Like it's
Yeah,
such a
it feels good to
low,
be of service.
well, yeah, dude, and it's such a low threshold to take something off of someone else's plate, you know?
Yeah, I
Like,
think in our heads we make it up to be this like you said, I gotta cook dinner for this whole family, or I need to, short myself on rent so I can help this person that is less fortunate or something like that. And it's just not, it doesn't need to be that way. And I don't think that's realistic anyway,
right.
it's been explained to me that like I make sure that my cup's full, and then whatever overflows, that's what I can give away. But my cup's gotta be full first. I can't just like give uh, of myself without being full first. And for a long time, I thought that was like, I just have a totally different perspective on that kind of shit now.
Yeah. But it's the older you get, the more you're like, "Oh, this makes sense now."
Yeah,
Because
and that's part of the knowledge is the journey. I learn a lot, not because I do it right the first time. In fact, if I do something right the first time, I don't think I learn anything. It comes from messing up. It comes from weird interactions with people at shows. It comes, or just in the world. Like
yeah.
just because you had a shitty load in doesn't mean you got to be a dick at the merch table, dude.
Right.
Just because you had a long ass drive doesn't mean, somebody digs your band and they want to buy shirts. They're just asking questions, and for me, my brain goes, "Meh," like it's every question is a loaded question, and it's like it's not. It's just so not that big a deal.
Well, dude, and that happens more and more when you're like feeling overwhelmed because there's so many things going on. It's really important to go, okay, hold on. Not trying to be a dick. Give me just a quick second to like
And I had to do that
recalibrate.
the other night in Omaha, dude. We had this brutal drive where, ice roads, we're pulling a trailer, blowing through intersections because you just can't stop. Gnarly. And it got to a point where it was, there was wind everywhere. The loading just sucked. The drive just sucked, and people were starting to line up, and everything is just like thrown across a pool table. It just looks like shit. And I was just like, I need 10 minutes, man. Please just give me 10 minutes. Lost my phone. Didn't know where my phone was. Just like one of those kinds of things where it was like the tour's over. Nobody's going to be able to get a hold of me. In those 7 minutes, it felt like everything was just crushing. And then it was like, fucking breathe, bro. It's going to be fine. And then that's when Joel and Andy come up and they're like, yo, we're going to get some food. Do you need anything? Do you need a coffee? Do you need, and I was like, I don't need any of that. Could you please call my phone? And it just is in a tub, like it fell out of my hand into a merch tub and it lights up and it's fine, you know? But things like that is those dudes, maybe they're aware, maybe they're not, but just like coming in clutch at that moment is like, that's what this shit's all about,
Yeah.
You having dudes like that you can depend on. Not that I wouldn't be able to go out and be like, hey, can you call my phone right now? But like the timing of that, I can't make that shit up.
Yeah. What is it? Synchronicity,
Yeah, yeah, something like
you
that,
know?
man. Where they just came over and in at the right time, right place, right time kind of thing.
Hell yeah. So how often do you find yourself like when you're on the road that you have to like, I just need a minute to kind of reground?
Thankfully, it's not as much as it used to be. Yeah, I mean, maybe in this conversation, it sounds like I carry like a ton of stress and shit, but I'm definitely a little bit better at it than I used to be. I think that's just like part of the deal. It's a hectic thing. Um, and like I said, these dudes we know each other pretty well. You get to know each other real well being in the car, in the van, in the hotel room all together.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, dude, it's some each day is totally different, and there's some days where I'm like, this was real shitty, and I was able to keep it together, and then there's other days where it just it's one of those things that like when I wake up, the goal is not to take any of it too seriously and try not to control and try not to manage everything because it's all out of my control. Uh, so that's part of it.
What a hard reality to like tell yourself too is like I can't control everything. And I don't know about you, but I'm a bit of a control freak. So I'm like
Yeah.
I you know
I
my
think I
wife's
can
like
relate.
she's like I'm so glad you take control of shit. My fucking buddy, um we went on vacation a couple years ago and I had shit fucking planned out. I'm like I need to, you know, if this is the time we're fucking boarding, this is the time we'll be here. We're gonna get food here, blah. And he's like, dude, I love going on vacation with you because I don't have to fucking think about anything. Like I
Yeah, I mean
don't want to be
that's how you
unprepared,
get
you
to
know?
help out. That's how you get to be of service in that situation.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I got. So you guys played with our friends in Savage Master a
Oh
few
hell yeah.
times. I fucking
Yeah, shout
love
out to
them,
all
dude.
those guys, man. I've known Nicky Burke since 2019, I guess.
Stonecutters era.
Yeah, I mean we used to play in a band called War Cloud together too, but
Oh yeah,
definitely definitely got to see Stonecutters too.
yeah. That's so funny. Such a small fucking world.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. And what's wild about War Cloud is the first time I met Nick was on stage in Sacramento. Like I'd never rehearsed with him. I'd never played with him before. We just kind of talked online, and that's another dude that's like, you know, right where he needs to be. His guitar playing is out of control, and he's just another dude that funny as hell. When we're on the road together, War Cloud, Haunt and Savage Master, or otherwise, we have such a good fucking time together.
Yeah, he is like I feel like he's fucking practiced, 12 hours a day for 30 fucking years, dude. He just is like, you're like, play
He
this. He's like, oh, I
riffs.
got you. I'm like,
Yeah,
holy
he's got all the
fuck.
licks. He's got all the riffs. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Ah, fuck.
Expert of his craft for sure, man. And that fool makes me laugh so hard all the time. I mean, there's we just there's nothing but good things to say about all of them though. Stacy's sweetest of all time. Adam's the man. Uh,
They've got
River,
River
I mean,
now.
River's super
Yeah.
rad too, you know. Warclub has played with Volcandra before, but also just River rolling with Savage and JJ that's playing drums with Savage now. I met when he was playing in Tower and you know, Little John's the man too. You know,
Oh yeah.
everybody's rad. And Julian, you know, we go deep with like some of those lineups for sure.
Yeah, it's so wild. Like those fucking dudes. Volcandra's got a new album coming out next month, I think, April
Hmm.
27th. That's gonna be fucking super
Stoked,
dope.
dude. I'm stoked for their success, and they've had some lineup changes too. And Dave stepping up and doing the deicide thing, singing and playing bass is super sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked for all of them, dude.
It's really cool to see your friends like doing, doing the thing that they fucking love, that they're passionate about, and also seeing the success that they're getting.
It's all a win. You know, I used to compare myself to what everybody else has versus what I have, and I'm just trying to compete against me now. And when I see
Yeah.
things like that, that's like it makes me think this shit's possible. It gives me joy. It's like, fuck yeah, these dudes are killing it. You know, that's what this shit I think is truly all about. You know, having healthy competition, I think is an okay thing. You know, but there's a difference between like, why don't I have all these endorsements? How did they get on this tour? Everybody's situation is so different that it's like, you know, all we can do is be Haunt. All I can do is be Sam, and you know, whatever happens after that is in the hands of the metal gods. You know, it ain't up
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. That's so, it's so true. At what point for you was it like, oh, I need to, do you remember consciously going, okay, I'm going to stop comparing myself to them and just go, okay, I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today?
Uh, I mean, part of it had to do with joining this band and just getting some experience from some dudes that are older than me. You know, that have been doing it longer. Um, yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I think part of it had to do with not partying the way that I used to. Uh, that's a big part of it, if I'm being
Dude,
fully
how
honest.
fucking hard is it in this world, you know?
Yeah, it's you know, thankfully, like we talked about, I just leave it up to the metal gods, dude. You know, I just get to suit up and show up and just be another long-haired head, you know, Hesher metalhead. Um, but yeah, dude, it's you know, it's an ongoing thing. You know, it's something that I practice each day, and being on the road with these dudes definitely helps. You know, I mean, I've got a longtime girlfriend. We've been together in 8 years, but in a couple of days it'll be 9. You know. Uh, and so that's, you know, having somebody supportive like that. I'm gone for a lot of anniversaries. I'm gone for a lot of birthdays. Uh, and so you know, it just means when I get back, we get to celebrate. And you know, I don't think she'll hear this before I send flowers for the anniversary, but that's the idea, you know, is to think of things like that.
Yeah,
And
you've got to.
Kaylee's the best, super supportive, always has been, you know, and is another person that holds a mirror to myself as far as when I'm acting crazy is like, dude, this is all so not that big a deal, you know. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like it's you know again it's not Wembley Stadium. There's some shows where I mean we played a brewery in Denver, literally in a brewery surrounded by the beer casks, and it was a sick show. When we showed up we were like, oh dude, and then it was super packed, over 100 people there, sold a gang of merch. uh the brewery was super hyped, the bands were super hyped, it was a super sick show.
Oh yeah.
And so that's the thing too, is like I have these like expectations, or I have my initial reaction to something is like, oh fuck, and it's like, maybe, what if you're wrong? And in fact, I truly hope I am.
Dude, it's funny. So in my like day job, I'm a realtor, and
Hmm.
we're like taught, or I read a lot about like limiting beliefs, and those limiting beliefs are exactly that. Like, oh man, we're playing this fucking place. This is gonna suck. Like, hold on, we don't know. It's not happened
Yeah,
yet, you
yeah. This
know?
house will never sell. Nobody's gonna think this house is great. There's yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you just gotta like be okay. I'm gonna be open-minded. I'm gonna give it my best. and whatever, whatever happens, happens, but
Yeah, I mean, not, the same way that like every show is not, a super, Monsters of Rock 1988 or 89 or whatever. Not every house is like, first time buyer might be hyped on this house that you're not hyped on. It's not like
yeah,
somebody, it's it's all up in the air, dude.
yeah,
I got zero. The only thing I can control is my reaction to those things. And my first thought is always poo poo, no way, F this. But as long as my first reaction is not that, then things tend to work out.
yeah. That's so funny. So you guys are on the road with Entranced right now. How many dates in are you?
This today in Chicago will be show number 6, I think. Omaha, Denver, nope. Salt Lake, Denver, Omaha, Des Moines, Iowa City, Cudahy. So today's seven. Seven.
Okay, shit, 7 days, and then I think, and I might be wrong. Is Louisville the last date on the 29th?
No, no, not the last date. Tour ends April 4th. So we got a
Oh,
couple
okay.
more after that.
You guys do Nashville and then Louisville.
And then I think St. Louis is after that.
Okay.
Then we got a day off and we go to Dallas. And there's 3 shows in Texas, which is cool because it's been a bit since Haunt's been to Dallas. So Dallas, San Antonio, which San Antonio is always rad. El Paso, and then we're playing in Sierra Vista, Arizona, which is kind of a trip because it's definitely not a major city. There's a place called Bisbee, Arizona that's close by that I have played a couple times with an older band. Um, so yeah, dude. I mean, another one of those things that like every day is anything could happen day, and maybe Sierra Vista is the best show of the tour. Maybe it's not. Whatever. The goal is to spread the word. Somebody needs to buy the Haunt T-shirts, like we were saying, as far as traveling
Yeah.
around and shit. So, and then we hit the road again in June. That's starting to get booked, which we're super excited about. Kind of the territory that we're not hitting this time around. This tour kind of started Midwest across the East Coast down. I think the furthest south we get is the Carolinas, and then kind of cut back through the bottom of the states. And we'll do kind of the opposite for June as far as start heading west low. It's 4 shows in Florida, which is super rad because we've only ever played Pensacola and Winter Park, which is like in Orlando, and so we're going to get to go to Jacksonville and Tampa, and then we head up the East Coast and do some stuff in New England, which is cool because it's been a bit since Haunt's been there too. Uh, yeah, dude. And then back to Europe in October with the dudes in Hitton, that's who we played uh, with around this time last year. 4 shows in Spain, and then the rest of it gets announced hopefully later this month. But some stuff in Germany and Poland and some fests in France. And yeah, dude, super, super grateful for the busy year.
Hell yeah.
New
I
record
mean,
coming out. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
gotta sell the t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Bring In Europe, it's sell the CDs. People go nuts for CDs out there. Not that they don't go nuts for vinyl or anything else. Patches for sure too. But for whatever reason, people collect CDs like crazy out there.
Are you seeing like are you seeing that switch here as well?
I mean, I sold out of, our latest record, Ignite. I sold out of those already. We didn't bring as too many of them because we just physically don't have a lot of them. This first, pressing of vinyl and CDs and tapes has been moving pretty quick. Tapes is another funny one too, where like I can't. It's a wild that's popular again. We just do
Yeah.
smaller runs of those because otherwise you hold on to them for a long time. But yeah, I mean, with tapes specifically, I had a couple conversations a few years ago with people at the merch table, and it was like younger metalheads that were getting their first car or still had their first car, and their first car had a tape deck, so that's how they would listen to music that way, which I thought was kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, it helps when you price the things to sell. I mean, we changed physical distributors about a year ago, and we got a bunch of inventory back that we thought they'd gotten rid of and they hadn't. So we got a ton of Windows of Your Heart, vinyl and CDs, and Chariot, which is like the best of from 2017 to 2022 on CD, and we're just blowing the CDs out at $5 and the vinyl at 10 on the road and on the website too. So that people like seeing prices like that. Especially now where the cost of living is so crazy. Somebody in the middle of the set last night after we finished the song, somebody yelled out, "What are the gas prices like in California?" Which was classic. But that's part of it too is how to manage that as a touring band, moving product, but pricing it so that people are not buy your shirt, but I can also get lunch at my job tomorrow.
Yeah.
All things to take into consideration, and you're paying for an experience. It costs money to make things. Obviously, you got to make the money back, and then some to keep the ship afloat. For lack of a better words. Uh, so yeah, I mean, people are vinyl's been on the rise since like 2019. It's been outselling other. People are still
Physical
buying
media.
vinyl for
Yeah.
sure. Um,
I literally just read an article that was like, last year was the first year vinyl sold over 1 billion copies
Love it.
since '83 or something.
Love it. I love hearing stuff like that, dude. And that's another
Yeah.
one where like being at the show and experiencing it. This is another version of that where you're able to hold this thing in your hand and look at the liner notes and look at, this new record has like a 24-page art book that with lyrics on it that our buddy John that actually lives in Chicago, but he does all the graphic design for Haunt. He did a really good job. And only the first pressing's coming with it. So that's part of it too, is like not everybody doesn't need to get everything all the time. uh, if
I
you
do.
miss out, well, I can relate, but from a business standpoint, if the first run has something special to it, people are gonna eat it up.
Yeah.
And so when the second one comes around, maybe you don't make as many, maybe you don't have the art book in it, that kind of thing. So the goal is to offer some sort of incentive when you have a new product, just so that people are stoked. We try to I mean, Trev does a pretty good job. He treats Haunt like it's a skate brand, which we're huge skate heads and always have been. But seasonal merch drops as far as this is the winter line. You can get a Haunt hoodie, you can get a Haunt sweatshirt. Summer is here's the tank tops and short sleeves and those kinds of things. I
Yeah.
think I think I think that helps, and it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of oversight. There's a lot of moving parts, but I think it's worth it.
It's, hopefully, yeah,
Yeah,
that
man. At the end of the
that's,
day, you're with your best friends on the road, seeing the world.
yeah,
That's the perspective to have when it's all said and done. When it feels like it's all just bullshit, I'm on the road with my best friends.
dude, that is such a smart way to look at it, you know? It's like, oh, we
Well,
don't.
I'm glad you think so, because sometimes I just feel like I'm talking out of my ass.
I think we all feel that way, like,
Yeah, dude.
I just talk. I got a lot of fucking words. I don't know if
Yeah,
any of them
man.
fucking mean anything. Who gives a shit? What, so what city, since you've been in Haunt, what city have you played or do you always look forward to going to? Is there one that really sticks out?
I mean, here in the States, San Antonio is definitely a highlight. I mean, out here in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Cudahy area is definitely one of those too. Now that we've played it twice, it's always rad. Um, those places in Florida have always been really cool, Pensacola and Winter Park. I love New Orleans. That might be my favorite city in the world. We haven't had like super awesome luck there as a band, but there's something special about being in Louisiana. Um, I mean, Aces High in Salt Lake City, it's kind of the only heavy metal venue in the entire state, so that's always pretty rad. And the people in Bloodstar and Visigoth are all super involved in that venue, so that's like just another one of those things where like if you build it, they will come. It's been a little bit since we've gotten to Michigan, but I do got love for the Detroit area. Uh, I first played Louisville at Highlands Tap Room for a Metal Monday years ago, and so
This
Louisville's also
big.
got, yeah, man. Louisville's got a special place too. The last time we were at Portal was a super rad show too. You
Was
know,
that, were you guys with Savage Master
we
that
were,
time?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, we get to play Asheville again. I haven't been to Asheville since with Nick and Warcloud, and so Asheville is a really cool place too. Yeah, I mean, I could just dissect the map, dude. I mean,
there's
we find a lot of fun wherever we go. I mean, I will say this: there's a place in Oceanside, a Mexican restaurant called Fortuna's that we just lose our minds over there, dude. That's maybe that's the better answer. Is it most of it is surrounded around food,
yes,
wherever we can, if we don't have to eat at a Love's or a Starbucks or something like that. We're big Cracker Barrel fans, so being in this part of the country, definitely we're hyped about being able to get breakfast at Cracker Barrel. Coffee's good. Um, but yeah, dude, I mean, I'm wherever these dudes are, I think is where I know I like listed a couple of places specifically, but I mean, in Europe too, dude, there's Copenhagen is always super sick. The last time we played in Stuttgart, Germany, super rad. Um, uh, I mean, Vienna, at a place called Escape. I got some buddies in Mean Mistreater that just played there last night. They had a really good show. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just hyped to be able to go everywhere.
to go play. Yeah, that's fucking cool. So I'm a food guy. My favorite,
Yeah.
like anytime we go somewhere, I'm like, I want it to revolve around food. Like, where are we fucking going? It's food and music. So you said that place was called Fortuna's?
Fortuna is in Oceanside. Yeah, that's Southern California, just above San Diego. Yeah, if you're ever out that way, hit it up, dude. Yeah, crazy, crazy bomb.
Yeah,
The
I was
first time we went there, one of the daughters of somebody that worked there came up and like was asking to take our order, and then somebody else came over and was like, "I'm sorry about her," and we were like, "That was so awesome to have like this 6 year old come up and like ask us what we wanted and if we wanted water and that kind of thing." And then they brought out these little, it looked like a shot glass of like seafood broth, and at first we were like, you know, they just gave us these little micheladas, which that's just not the way I roll anymore. But it was steaming hot, so we shot it back, and it was like this super bomb seafood broth.
that's
Um,
dope.
yeah, dude, yeah, food is a big fucking part of it.
There's a place in Malibu that I fucking love. Uh, there's two places in Malibu, and now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember the name of either of them.
Is one of them Gladstones
No, but
or
there,
Dukes?
no, there's a I think it was called Malibu Cafe, maybe. It's right on the fucking ocean, dude. You drive down this thing and they got a huge parking lot. You sit with your like feet in the fucking sand and eat, and they make oh,
Or maybe Paradise Cove. That's another place that's
that's
like
it.
that too. Yeah.
That's
Oh
exactly
yeah.
it. Yeah, that place
Right on, man.
is
Yeah,
rad.
I've been going. Used to go there a lot as a kid. That was a special place too, man. I think I went to skimboard there and boogie board and shit.
Yeah, I fucking dude. So my wife and I, we started dating in 2012. In 2013, she's like, "We're going to California. Like, you'll see where I grew up." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So we went. We had dinner at reservations at like Nobu or something, and
Hmm.
we're just fucking around in Malibu, and we see Paradise Cove, and I'm like, let's do that." She's like, "All right, cool." The fucking sandwich comes out. It's like,
Oh, dude, so you definitely know.
yeah. I'm like, how are we gonna fucking eat this? And then what do we get? Calamari, and it's like a pound of calamari in that big ass martini glass. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't
Where's your
need
wife
dinner
from out there?
reservation. She grew up like right outside of LA, like Rancho Cucamonga in that
Yeah,
area.
the first metal band I was in, we recorded our first EP in Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh shit.
I'm telling you, dude,
It's
it's
such a small
crazy.
world.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh fuck. Uh, what place do you guys typically play in Detroit? Sanctuary?
Sanctuary. I used to play the Token Lounge a little bit too, which
In Westland, yeah.
yeah, or Livonia or what, it all kind of starts to feed into each other.
It's like right on that line. So that's where I grew up, Rick, right in that area.
Oh, okay.
So like we go back quite a bit, and dude, I can't tell you how many shows I've been to at like the Token.
Yeah, Smoking Token, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking so
Outer
wild.
Limits, I think, was the last time we played in Hamtramck specifically with Midas and Hellfire. So that would have been fuck, I guess 2023, the fall of 2023. So coming up on 3 years ago, you know. We played Grand Rapids on that Satan Night Demon tour at Pyramid Scheme. That was a really, really good venue, and that whole area near that venue is super rad. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get back there for sure.
Fuck yeah. I'll be there tomorrow.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Were you guys at the with Satan and Night Demon? Did you guys play St. Louis with them too?
We did at Red Flag.
Red Flag, yeah.
That got added on the tour, I think.
We
Like that
were
date got added late for sure.
we went
Which was
to
sick because there used to be this church there called Skate Laborious. They'd built a skate park inside of this church that was like you had to reach out and get an invite from there. And so we had a day off the day before, and I was just like looking for stuff to do, and I reached out, and the dude there, his name is Chris Grimes, classic. Uh, Let us in, and it was like, dude, it was so rad. All these big crazy wooden ramps. The choir loft had like this cool little like snake run in it.
yeah.
But it fucking burned down, dude. So rest in peace, Skate Laborious. But yeah, crazy shit. So that was the last time we were in St. Louis. But we'll be there the day after Louisville at Foo Bar. So I'm stoked about
Hell
that.
yeah. God, watch your shit. That's where everyone's shit got stolen, Fubar.
Yeah, I mean, we're usually, yeah, I mean, can't say it won't happen to any, War Cloud got our stuff jacked in Houston from our hotel when Nick and I were playing. That would have been, I guess, 2022. Hell Zeros number four, I guess that would have been. We got it back, which is like that shit never happens. These guys just
Right.
took it to the Guitar Center close by, and Guitar Center called us, and we're like, "There's this Flying V that has the same serial number and one that was sold in Oakland, which is where War Cloud was originally from." Uh, and so that was super rad. Yeah, but we all, everybody tries to take turns. Uh, People go in, somebody's waiting around. I mean, I carry a blade and a box cutter with me, man. I don't fuck around, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, when the shit hits the fan, I like to think that I'll be able to yell loud enough before having to get crazy like that. But I've, been on the road a long time, and it's a weird world these days. The guy with the
Yeah.
fanny pack's not gonna fuck around. It's just like it's all right there.
That's
So
so
yeah, I mean,
funny.
we guitars come in, anything that like you just can't replace right away. Guitars come in, some of the heavier effects unit and some of Andy's like playback stuff that's pricey comes in with us, which it sucks dragging all this stuff into the hotel in and out, but you got to do it. The alternative is stuff gets stolen.
Yeah, the alternative sucks a lot more.
I mean, we had to leave. This was not fun, but we had to leave the trailer in our van at the venue in Omaha because the roads were so icy. There was no way we were gonna be able to get to where we needed to go safely. And so that's a sketchy feeling to leave everything, 3 miles where you can't have an eye on it out a window. Uh, but it also would have taken a thief with some pretty heavy balls to go out in that snow, on that ice, unhook the trailer, hook it up, and bail. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say at that point he deserves to take it because nobody does, but that's some Pink Panther
You
shit as far as I'm concerned.
you put in some fucking work, dude. Like,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I don't want to, again, not trying to speak anything into existence because that would totally blow, but that would take some serious criminal activity to be able to pull off something like that.
Yeah. Well, so I think, with I think a couple of years ago they busted a lot of those people who had been like stealing all this fucking equipment, and they rounded up like it was something like 300 people and fucking
Yeah, it was like a
arrested them.
ring or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Was like, good, fuck those guys. Like, I want my live music.
Yeah, dude. No, it's you hear about it every couple of months. It's and at every level too, not just bands that are
Yeah,
touring in a van in a trailer. You hear people like, yeah, George Lynch got his guitar stolen, or so and so just somebody came backstage and just walked off with Zach Wild's two Les Pauls or whatever.
like,
It's crazy.
it's fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
people in places that they shouldn't be and how they get there is a whole other thing. It's a crazy thing, you know.
That it is. Holy shit. All right, we're 9 days away ish. I mean, I guess technically 10 days away. Oh, yeah, because it's
Yeah,
only
might as
Thursday.
well count today. We're already here.
Yeah, from you guys at Portal.
Yeah, I mean that's a heavy build, dude. Blind Scryer, I'm stoked they're on the show again. Those guys are super
Dude,
rad.
Blair's fucking voice is just like, he's,
Whales,
dude, so good.
whales,
And all
and
those
Stagecoach
dudes,
and Inferno. I don't know a lot about them, but they're kind of like heavy
they've been,
Louisville. Like they've been around a long time. They're like kind of a big deal, right?
yeah, they've been around for a while. They don't play a whole lot. So one of the guitar players, Connor, is in another band called Bad Wires.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Bad Wires is like, God, I'm gonna say they're one of my favorite like bands from here. Are
Awesome.
they from here? They're from Austin originally, but they're just fucking. They're so good, high energy. But we have just a lot of killer fucking talent, right? And those two bands on that bill on the 29th I think it's going to be fucking spectacular, dude. Um, I think
Yeah,
there's another
yeah.
band on.
There's a first opener whose name I'm blanking on. Unfortunately, normally I'm pretty good with shit like that. But yeah, five band bill. It should be super rad.
Yes, yeah, it's going to be super fucking rad. Yeah. Um, Okay. I'm not gonna keep you. I know you guys are like probably preparing to make the drive to Chicago and prep for your night. Before we go, will you do a quick come see us Sunday, March 29th at Portal Louisville? And let me find that. I gotta find the name of that other band real quick.
Yeah, please do. That way I don't make a fool of myself
Yeah, because uh,
any
I
more than
feel
I already
bad that
have.
I feel bad that neither of us can remember, you know? It's
Blind
called
Pariah jumps out at me, but I could be making that up too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that to me it doesn't sound right, but again, I don't fucking know. Blood Curse.
Oh, not even close.
I
Blood
mean, you
curse.
had
Okay.
you had a beat in there.
Yes.
So
Cool,
we
man.
called.
Yeah, I'm just gonna yell it out.
Cool.
Metalheads, this is Sam from Haunt. We're coming to Louisville March 29th at Portal with Entrance, Stagecoach Inferno, Blind Squire, and Blood Curse. Be there.
Or don't. You're gonna be sad. It's gonna be a rad
Second
fucking
time's the
time.
charm, dude. That was
Yes.
classic.
Yeah, you fucking nailed it, dude. Like we're gonna be there May 2nd. Hold on.
Yeah,
What?
dude.
Uh, cool. Sam, thank you very much, dude. I appreciate your time. Maybe if if we can work it out, if you guys are here in time, maybe we can go do a fucking grab 3 albums with Sam at the record store and we can just kind of go over three
Oh, that
like
would be rad. Yeah. Yeah, stay in touch with me, man. Let's set that up. I'll keep you updated as far as what our drive times are and that whole deal. But I got your
cool
number, so I'll reach out.
for sure. And that Nashville Louisville drive is fucking super quick. It's like 2.5 hours. So
Beautiful. Then should be cool.
hell yeah, dude.
Right on,
Go.
Tom. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
See you, Cameron.
See ya.